Yeah.
Um, so your police department's failing, okay, in my eyes. Okay, how would I be able to, with with it being legit? If it won't be legit, then I'll go to state police. How can I file charges against Holly and Pablo for filing?
How do you file charges?
No, no, watch, hold on.
Check it out.
How would I be able to
You just
file
go file a police report.
for
What do you want to file?
for filing a false police report against me back in February? You're well aware of it. Dwayne Epling's the one that took on the case.
You can file a police report with anyone you can.
I just want to file, but with you guys,
You
it
can
doesn't
file a
go
police
through.
report. Well, it doesn't matter because we're not the one who file charges. It's the DA's office. We just take the report.
Okay.
That's all we do. That's all we do. You give us, you say, I want to file a police report. You file a police report. If there's evidence with it, you hand it in. We don't file charges against people. We just file the police report and then we submit it to the DA's office, and the DA's office decides whether they can prosecute or not. That's it.
Okay. Because what they did to me was fucked up, and now everything that's going in circle right now with Dwayne. Dwayne, I don't like Dwayne, and I don't trust Dwayne. That's my opinion. I don't like government. I don't like law enforcement.
Dwayne's a good guy. He does his job. I can tell you, Dwayne
But
does his job.
if he does his job, he would have investigated more into it instead of taking one side of a story.
But did
That's
they
why the
file?
justice.
Were there charges against you?
Yeah,
Did you go to court?
Holly Martinez and I did go to court. I did go
You
to
didn't
court.
go? See, I don't even know.
I
Was it a
went to court.
summons or what was
It
it?
was summons.
What happened in court?
It got dismissed because none of the parties showed up. So if they file charges on an individual to drag them through the justice system, through the court system, just to because what I post on social media, they get offended, but they're public servants and they get paid by tax dollars. Okay, and that's a form of retaliation. We'll talk later. We'll talk later.
If you want to file a report,
Madam Deputy Clerk, can you please call roll for us?
Yes. Chairwoman Denise Benavides.
Present.
Councilor Pedro Valdez.
Here.
Councilor Nanette Rodriguez.
Yes.
Councilor Luis Garcia.
He's excused tonight.
We have a quorum.
Thank you so much. Item 3, approval of the agenda. Do I have a motion? Motion by Councilor Tito, second by Councilor Valdez. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you all. Item 4, public comments. Madam Deputy, do we have public comments?
We do.
Thank you. We're limiting them to 3 minutes tonight to get everybody a chance to speak.
And first up, we have Sam Ledoux.
Sam?
Hey. Can you hear me? Okay, there we go. Members of the committee, Chairwoman, I wanted to first thank you so much for hosting this committee again. It's good to see you guys back on working hard on this issue. And I also wanted to thank you for bringing my stop squatting ordinance to the committee's attention. I hope you guys give that bill serious consideration. It's becoming a rising problem in California. And I hope that we're able to stem it before it becomes a rising problem here in New Mexico and we have to deal with it on our own front. It's not exactly 100% a unhoused or unsheltered issue, but I understand why this committee feels the need to hear it. So I'm happy to see that you're taking that up. I'm also I'm hopeful that you can look at the busing ordinance as well, because I think that especially if we're considering pallet homes, we have to consider the limited resources that we have and make sure that they're not overtaxed by people trying to take advantage of our kindness. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor.
Next is Chris Quintana.
Hi, Chris.
So, council members, this is my first appearance at one of these hearings, so I'm not quite sure how I need to communicate with you all, but if this is a start, I'll go ahead and get started. So I found out about this council agenda this week. I was interested in coming to find out a little bit more about it, just based upon, you know, what I've seen so far, what's posted on there. I was a little concerned about what I heard, and I just wanted to come here and see or hear a little bit more about it. My concerns are mainly, you know, the area close to, you know, my home residence, as well as and what kind of impacts that will have on our community out there. Mainly being so close to my family and friends that live in that area, most of which are elderly people. So I have a deep concern over that, as well as just the housing itself, the quality of it, quality of life out there, and the safety, if you want to put it that way. So I like to hear more about it, you know, as the day goes on, as the evening goes on, and see where things go. Thank you.
Next on the list is Teresa Roybal.
Tell them you're opposed.
Hi, my name is Teresa Roybal and I live in Llano, and I heard the proposal that you people are talking about. I got very upset because there's already a lot of people here in the city walking all the time and nobody come in El Llano. I'm a senior citizen, I live by myself, and I'm scared to think that you're gonna approve this of them living next door to me. Because I live very close to the cemetery, and I'm very worried about seeing all these people up and down. And so many of my relatives we're all live very close to each other, and we're all senior citizens. So we're very concerned when we heard that you were proposing that you wanted to take it there to behind the women's shelter. We thought we already got that. We don't need somebody else to send the homeless people there. So that's why I'm here, very worried and concerned about it. So please let us know what's going on, because my other senior people, relatives would be here, but they're elderly. They can't. But I'm here to say that how important it is that we do not want the shelter to, please don't put it there. That's what I came for. So thank you.
Alex Behid.
Good evening, everybody. My name's Alex, and I live close to my Aunt Teresa that was just here. My parents are elderly. We've been living there all our lives. We've got generations living there. I mean, we've had different housing projects moved in. I mean, we've had, you know, a lot of problems. Even before COVID, we've had drugs, people walking already on the street there, walking into our properties, stealing our stuff. And I think putting it up there where you're proposing to put it is gonna just make a bad situation even worse. And I'm just here also to oppose it. And I hope you just listen to all of us that are here tonight. Thank you.
Leroy Roybal.
Good evening. I'm opposed to what you're doing because I have dealt with so many of those people on my properties And all they do is throw trash everywhere, and I mean everywhere. There are still big chunks of trash, sofas, I don't know what else is on there, but you have to find a better place than the crisis center. I know they're gonna have to buy groceries or go to services of some sort, but I don't think that's the best place for it. And the kind of poses. That's about it.
Jeff, Roy Ball.
Oh, you're trying to do damage control, yeah. Look at this idiot. Idiot. Look at this idiot doing damage control.
I'm here also because I live in Eliano and I'm concerned
Damage control.
my safety and my family's
That's the
safety.
city manager.
I just, we've had people breaking into our houses around there and it's not a fun thing. We called the police, they could come and they told us, well, there's nothing we can really do, but, file a report and that's basically what they've done. And it gets frustrating because, all of us are all family and we just have try to look out for each other. And it's hard because like my mom lives right next to the road and we see people there walking by our house from 9-10 o'clock in the morning till 9-10 o'clock the next day. I mean, they're walking all the time and, we feel very strong, about our mom, our mom's safety. So, we just would like to oppose this homeless place that you guys are planning on doing there in Eliano. So, thank you.
I can't read this name, but Roy Ball. It's like there you go.
Still a lot of Red Balls here. You got the family coming. Good evening, my name is Mark Redball. Mark, yeah. I'm here today just to figure out, make sure that this committee's transparent. It doesn't seem to be. We got no notifications. We don't know. I don't know what's going on. A lot of stuff happens on Facebook and, we just want to get to the bottom of what's really happening here. Our city has seen a lot of influx of homeless people in the area, and it's sad and it's hard, but it seems like the city seems to be shifting them from one side of town to the other side of town and not, there really has to be transparency with this council and with the mayor, and it doesn't seem like we're getting any information at all from anybody. So that's why I'm here today. Let's talk and find out what's going on. Thank you.
Good citizen.
Okay. Eric, you're an idiot, bro. Thanks for doing damage control. Rumors are spread, lies are going on. Each and every one knows that you guys are we're planning to put them there at one time. You guys knew that. It was out. You guys aired it out, whatever the case might be. The Department of Environmental is looking at it because you guys, there's a lot of solid waste stuff going on in there. You guys did a secret vote. And you guys voted anonymously to purchase some land in Llano. Just so you know, they were gonna plan to do it there at the landfill, the old landfill, but they backed out of it because they purchased property in your district, Sam. I don't know if you knew about that, but they purchased land in your district, and it was under the table, bro. If you don't know, but I'm just letting you know. Eric, you can nod your head, bro. You're a piece of shit. I don't even know what you're doing in this city, bro. I really don't know what you're doing in this city. What you guys are doing, lying to these constituents that voted for you guys to sit up there and not speak the truth. There's no transparency. You guys have no transparency here. You can laugh, Denise. You can laugh, Nanette. Pedro, good job, bro. You, Eric, is dumb, bro. You're dumb, dude. Over here doing damage control. You guys knew that was your guys' plan. You guys knew, but now this is your second meeting. Let's see what lies come out of it. That's all I gotta say.
Stephanie, Kathy. Stephanie?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh,
Me.
Stephanie.
Good evening. So I came actually because I know I had asked some questions on Tuesday, so I would appreciate answers. The questions that I asked, and there's only one person who can seem to answer it, so I'm gonna ask it one more time. I would like to know if you have reached out to the animal shelter of the phone numbers that I gave you a few months ago. Because as we all know, a lot of homeless do have pets. Now, again, we need to not just worry about the people, we need to worry about the animals that they have with them, which means updated vaccines, getting them fixed so that they're not having puppies, and puppies are not walking the streets of Espanola getting sick and parvo and dying due to it because somebody cannot afford the health care that they so desperately need. So that is one main question, because I have spoken with a few people that I still talk to at the shelter who said they had no idea that this program even existed. I am out there helping them. I am working with people to try and get a doctor out here to try and hit some of the streets so that we can make sure that the animals are up to date and they're microchipped and they're fixed to prevent these things. That is not my job. I don't get paid for it. Secondly, I'm just hopeful that this council can help kind of get some kind of drug program going, because I actually approached a few ladies that I know who walk through our trailer park. And yes, I get tons of homeless, and I luckily was in Cooks at the time that they decided to put the encampment. So talk about foot traffic. Yeah, we had it too. We still do. But I'd like to know, because I was approached by a few ladies, and if I have to transport them to Chicago to make sure that they get into a rehab facility and are no longer in this town, I will do what I have to do, and I have transport that can help them. So I'd like to know your ideas to get a rehab and get them help.
Lastly, we have Jeremy Martinez.
Good morning, guys. I just came to kind of hear what you guys are proposing for tonight, and also I just had concerns about the proposal that you guys had for the social service office about using 90,000 for the vehicles, purchasing those. I saw that proposal, plus using, I think, what was it, 3,000 for brand new Apple tablets, and only putting 5,000 towards resource fair. When you guys have access to city buildings, it should be free, and the resources should be with a collaboration of people who offer services among your community already. And I also think that you guys should invest in the shelter. They have a whole empty shelter full of beds. I don't understand what's going to happen by creating a whole new social service division when you guys can place her in here. You can use city vehicles, you can use city laptops. I don't understand when we have a need to get warming stations right now. People are gonna freeze. It's getting cold pretty soon. So I just really want to hear what you guys have to offer. I'm a little bit concerned what you guys propose for the social service division. That's not for the people. That's not to help them right now. That's victim money. That's people who are struggling with substance abuse. The other day I met a pregnant lady at the shelter. She's gonna have a baby pretty soon. She's gonna need transitional housing. She's gonna need that after she completes rehab. What's gonna happen to her? What's gonna happen to her baby? How many more babies are going to be taken away from their parents because we have no transitional housing? So I'm really interested in hearing what you have to say, and I'm really interested and you guys coming up with a new proposal for that money. And $25 an hour for salary, I want to know the qualifications. I would want to know what kind of training she's going to offer the community. Is she NARCAN trained? Is she mentally health first aid trained? How much of that is she going to get offered to the community? I think as a person who pays my taxes, those are my concerns. A person who has lived here all my life. My family has lived on North McCurdy my whole life. We've grown up here. It's concerning. We used to be able to ride our bikes to Dairy Queen. So that's just my concerns. And I hope you guys consider not using that opiate settlement money on that social service division, because that's not okay to be able to help the people. And the ed need it. We need it. We need to help these people. Thank you.
Let's see, Ursula Smart. Ursula Smart.
I first want to thank
Look at
everybody
her
for
Smart.
being here tonight.
That
This
dumb
is our
hippo.
second meeting. We are going to have meetings every month. They're going to be the third Thursday of every month, so that people know exactly when the meetings are going to happen. We had a little bit of a disconnect and had to cancel the last meeting, so I just want to apologize for that. But just to let everybody know, we will be having meetings the third Thursday of every month. So we're going to move on, and we're going to move on to task force member comments. So any comments? Councilor Diaz?
So good evening, everybody. Thank you for coming and sharing your concerns. It's really important to hear from the community. But I also want to say that we need to keep in mind that there's a lot of misinformation that is going around. And the social platforms, it spreads like wildfire. There has not been any proposals to talk about anything in Indiana. I'm not sure where that came from. I want to speak to transparency. We have what's called an executive session where we go in and talk amongst ourselves as a governing body to address purchasing property. Nothing like that has been discussed. Again, misinformation. So it's really important that you continue to come to these meetings, to hear about our plans, to engage with us so that we do collaborate together to solve the issues within our community. So I'm really happy that you're here this evening. Jeremy. You spoke about a young lady currently at the shelter that's pregnant. I just want to say that Las Cumbres Community Services offers services and resources to people that need that support. There's a KQ program that you can refer this person to. Our phone number, our main phone number is 753-4123. That's what we do. We would welcome her to come in so that we can see how we can help her. Again, I'd like to thank you this evening for coming and sharing your concerns. We're all concerned about our community and what we're currently seeing in this valley. It's not an excuse, but this is a national problem. And so we're working hard to come together so that we can come up with a plan to solve the issues facing our community. And lastly, I want to say thank you, Bethany, for coming forward and sharing your concerns about the animals in our community. It's really important. I'm an animal lover, and so we welcome you to come before us, to hold us accountable, but also to work together with us, because we don't have all the answers. So thank you for coming this evening.
Can you repeat that phone number one more time?
505-753-4123.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're going to move on to matters from the chair. The first item is our partnership with the Coalition to End Homelessness. So we have been meeting with the Coalition to End Homelessness. We have signed an agreement. That agreement with the coalition will allow us to go after continuum of care funding. We're currently working on that. We did submit one grant. Hopefully, we'll see, if we get any grant funding that will further assist us and assist our social service director to move forward with some funding that we will, need later on when we make decisions as to what, programs we put together and how we deal with this problem. I wanna also say that I live in a town. I'm your neighbor, so I duly have concerns, just like you do. When the mayor asked me to head this task force, he did it for more than one reason. A lot of it has to do with my background and what I currently do today as my job. So I hope that we can, find a consensus and do what we can. We are actually currently housing individuals, we did today, or we're almost there today with the senior citizen. It's a difficult situation, it really, really is, but we're gonna do everything that we can. I will tell you here tonight that we're gonna do everything we possibly can to be as transparent as possible. You're all welcome to call me or social services director, Michelle Ferrer, at any time. The first meeting we had, we stayed after the meeting and we spoke to many individuals after that meeting. And it went really well. So reach out to us, we will update you on anything that we've done or any MOUs that we've signed, that we've moved forward with partnerships. The next thing I wanna talk about, item B, is transitional housing project. So we're currently working together with Fairfield County and Monica Bader from our Central Economic Development District. She has some funding to rehab a property that the county owns in Alcalde. That property will be utilized for women and children transitional housing. There's currently, I believe, 46 beds. There's 2 different buildings. One building needs to be fully rehabbed. There's 35 rooms in that building. There's a community room. Other facilities that we would need are there. We have secured close to $1 million to rehab that property via grant funding. The building in front can be utilized currently if we had to house. That building, I believe, has 11 rooms. So if we do have the need to put women or children in that front building, we can. We prefer that the rehab is done in its entirety before we do that. The other thing I will mention quickly, and I'll let, Social Services Director elaborate if she has an update for us. She did meet with the Executive Director of OI, who is close to that particular facility that we're talking about, that can provide services. We are looking at a service provider to operate that facility for us. We do currently have one that has shown an interest, and it's a provider that actually is here in town and provides a lot of services. So that hopefully is coming in our future. We do think that it's a better idea to house people. While they're housed, then we can provide those services directly to them. So that's what we're gonna that's our intent to try to do going forward. We are a ways away from getting that facility rehab, but it is in process. So I want everybody to know about that, because that's a huge plus for us. And I will also say that, the hotel that works together with Pathway Shelter, that construction and rehab of that facility, which also is transitional housing currently, will happen in the near future as well. Those funds have been secured. There are 2 different grants to, rehab that property. San County is a physical agent for that particular project and is in process of hiring a manager to manage the construction and rehab of that particular property. So that's also in the works, and we want you to know about that. Item C, pallet home updates. So the thought for us in the community is that if we were able to secure a piece of property, which we have not, and I'll elaborate further on that in just a minute. We wanted to see if we could secure some funding for that. We reached out to some philanthropy organizations. We have secured funding for pallet homes. Those home costs will not come from the city. We have secured funding. The goal, if we could find a piece of property, is to start small. Just like they did in Santa Fe at a particular church that they put pallet homes at. We discussed anywhere from 10 to 20. We will not do that until we have a program in place with services at that location to service those individuals. The program will not be a long-term program. Any individuals that will be at that particular program with those pallet homes will be provided to them. If they refuse services, they would be not allowed to stay there. So that's the type of program that we're looking at. We are currently working closely with the governor's office. I had a meeting Monday with the governor's office in the city of Santa Fe. The governor would like the city of Santa Fe, the city of Espanola, and the county of Santa Fe to work together to put together a proposal for a large grant. The governor's office has right around 20 million set aside still to assist with this particular problem, because it's not just the city of Espanola. We have seen an influx and we are aware of that, but we are working closely together in partnership because we feel like that's the only way we're gonna be able to tackle it. So we just had that meeting. We're gonna have another meeting this next coming week because Social Services Director Michelle Burr was not able to join us that day. So we're gonna have another meeting to further discuss and to move forward to put together a package so that we can present the governor with a good, solid partnership proposal for funding. So that's an update that I wanted to give. Item D, property location and possible RFP. So what we've done, Social Services Director Michelle Fair and myself met with Dr. Kathleen Van Horn and the city of Santa Fe. They have shared their RFP that they put out when they did the pellet hump with the church in Santa Fe. We, if we cannot find a piece of property that the city can afford to buy, we will RFP to see if maybe a nonprofit or someone would step up and offer a piece of property that might be a proper location for a facility like this. Currently, we haven't heard from anyone that is interested in doing that. So that RFP will be mimicked and similar to what Santa Fe County did. We also have their program and the guidelines that they put forward and the service providers that are at that facility assisting clients currently today. We are speaking to those providers to form a partnership and possibly sign an MOU with those individuals. That's all in the works. Those agreements are yet to be signed. All of this is in the works, and Social Service Director will elaborate with you on other partnerships that have come forward or entities that really want to work together with the city of Espanola. Some are large partnerships, insurance companies, and so we feel fortunate that hopefully we can get those partnerships put in place. And we want to assure you that nothing will happen until those are put in place, because we do not want to fail if we have the opportunity to put together a good, solid program. And that is this task force's intent. And currently today, we are not only working with the in-house, but we're also trying to work together with other entities to identify kids in the schools that are in-house or couch surfing, or with an aunt or an uncle or whoever will take them in. That's a huge concern for us because there's been an uptick. There's an uptick in seniors, unfortunately, that are also currently in-house. Kudos to Services Director Michelle Ferrer today. We did secure housing for a senior that has been living in his vehicle for a very long time. And when I met him, it just broke my heart that that's happening in this community and that, you know, we're not in a local community. And so we are happy to say today that we are extremely close to getting him in that apartment. So that's a plus. One at a time, I mean, that's all we can do. I will also let Director, when she gives her report, elaborate a little bit in the drug treatment facility that has come to Espanola. It's a smaller facility. I'll let her talk about how many individuals have shown up here at City Hall requesting help and how many she's taken to that facility. I'll let her explain the beds and how she's working closely with that partnership. And I believe an MOU is in place or almost in place. I'll let her elaborate on that and other things that are currently happening. Item E, assignments to the task force. Councilor Toya is not here with us today. Councilor Babis is here. They are going to begin working on ordinances that can be put together that can assist us in tackling some of what's going on with the unhoused. There are several of them out there desperate and dire for help. There are others that not so much, right? So good from the bad, as I call them, right? That's important for us to do, and so Chief Garcia is working together with us, as is Judge Madrid. We recently also got together with District Court in Santa Fe. The courts are now putting together programs, not just for those getting out of jail, but just for anybody that goes through the court system. Instead of the judges putting them in jail, they are mandating that they go to these programs that are being put in place by district court and other courts. And those programs are doing exactly what we're trying to do. House individuals, get them into treatment, get them housing. So we're working currently together with judges because I think, gentlemen, at the first meeting mentioned that you cannot house an individual if they have a record. We found that out when we assisted some of the individuals that were evicted from Santa Clara apartments. We worked together with both Judge Madrids and were able to do what we needed to do to help some of those that had warrants, for instance, or some kind of legal issues, whether with community service, whether with monthly payments, whatever the case was. We worked together with those judges to clean their records to get them housed. And so it's a huge undertaking, and it cannot happen overnight. So when there's all these rumors or talk on social media, it's literally impossible to just think that we can find a piece of property, purchase it, and have a program in place and move all these individuals there. It's just not how it works. I do want to address pathway shelter just a little bit. The city of Espanola is very concerned about the tent situation that is happening out there. Not just the tent situation, but the traffic, foot traffic there. We I'm gonna try to reach out to them. There has not been a nice collaboration between the city and Pathway Shelter, but we're gonna continue to try to do that because we think it's important that we work together. So we will be trying to see what we can do to tackle that partnership and see what we can do there, because right in the middle of town and it's causing a lot of issues for us. It again isn't District 3, and it's probably the most calls a day that I get is regarding the shelter. So we got to figure out what to do there, and we're going to do everything that we can to try to tackle that situation. I know Chief Garcia is working on some things as well. We talk a lot about the drug issues in our community, and unfortunately, they've spread to a lot of other communities. It's a huge problem. I know that Chief is working diligently, and there's a lot that our chief of police cannot discuss with the public that he has in the works, but he is working towards assistance with the drug issues that are in this community. So we want to make sure that we share that so that everybody knows that. It's another huge undertaking, right? But we've got to work together, and we've got to assist him by putting some ordinances together that will help him. That is all I'm going to share for now. I know our social services director is going to share more with you. I'm going to move on to item 7. We should have had it a little higher on the agenda, but approval of the minutes. Can I have a motion to approve? Thank you so much. All in favor? Signify by saying aye. Currently today, as far as item 8, we do not have any discussion or recommendation items to full council. I don't foresee that we'll have any of those in the coming future until we come up with some kind of a solid plan or program or some sort of funding that we would approve for. So we have nothing to discuss on that particular item. So I am going to ask Social Services Director Fred to come up and give us, I want her to give us a background of not only who she is local, she doesn't live here today, but she is very local, but I want her to give you background on her credentials, if you would please, before you give us your updates.
Sure, absolutely. Good evening, council, city manager, chair. Am I able to also address some of the questions later that some of the public have at some point? Okay, great. Okay, so as I've said multiple times, my name is Michelle Frere. I'm the Director of Social Services for the city of Espanola. I'm originally from Chimayo, have family there, moved to Santa Fe, left, got quite a bit of an education, and came back and thought this would be the best place to give myself back to the community. I started off first with my associate's degree with UNM Los Alamos. I then moved to UNM for a double bachelor's in psychology, criminology, sociology. I then worked on my double master's in psychology and forensic psychology. And now I'm also working on my doctorate in psychology, maybe law school, who knows. Something that will help the community so that I can give back is always something that's on my mind. My experience, understandably so, has been on the spotlight from the beginning, and I believe this is happening because my department is very transparent from day one. The reports that I have submitted not only to council, but information that's posted up there, and information that the community is able to obtain at any point in time. I have worked in this field for about 15 years, going on 16 years now. Not only the experience that I have was also with felony competency, which meant, for those who don't understand in this crowd, felony competency for individuals who had the worst of the worst crimes, especially in Albuquerque, who had mental health issues, who had developmental disabilities that allowed them to be out on the streets uncared for. No guardian, no representative payee, none of that. Now, that experience that I have also comes from the DD waiver as an investigator for abuse, neglect, and exploitation. So I'm very, very well aware, and I have quite a bit of experience and certifications with the state that indicate that I am able to work with these individuals. I'm able to have capable abilities to de-escalate a situation in the safest way possible. Because as many of you know, I'm currently the only person in my department. And I believe that starting as of June 10th all the way to now, I've made a pretty good dent. And by dent, I mean I've been able to work with the local facility here, Pecos Valley Counseling, to house at least 12 individuals. That is the current MOU that we have in place at the moment, and we're working on it because I'd like to make sure that every single person and resource that I have here is able to succeed to fruition. And fruition means, why not work together instead of working on separate things and stopping and then letting things fall at that moment? Because that's a lot of what I've seen. I've seen a lot of individuals who come in and it's pretty much the blind leading the blind. And in this perspective, what I mean is the extent of fear mongering that I have seen up until today is absolutely distasteful and it's tacky. And by that I mean, once you get the correct information that you have, which I have reported to every single council meeting that we have had as of my start here on June 10th. So every piece of information, if the community would like, I can also provide them a report as well. Pallet houses. Now, ultimately, we have a situation here, California, New Mexico, wherever. That is ultimately something that's happening everywhere. But one thing I'd like to say, and one thing I'm very, very proud of, is that I'm making such a difference in this community with our resources that the governor has decided to run a pilot program based off of the information that we've provided today, which is absolutely amazing. Now, as far as working with other individuals and collaborating, I'm not only working with Los Alamos, Santa Fe, Farmington, Albuquerque, Bernalillo, Rio Rancho, and multiple entities, all the way to California, actually, with the changed reaction, which is absolutely amazing. So those are great things that I work on, and that's the research that I focus on, because not only am I focusing on the city here and doing a small picture, I'm actually focusing on the entirety of it. Okay, so another thing I'd like to address is one of the questions that someone had in the public as far as my pay, my education, my experience. I would take offense to that, but I'm not, because at some point in time, individuals might think, how in the world is this all getting done by one person, right? So that's exactly it. It's actually getting done by one person. But this one person's been able to successfully have a full collaboration with many individuals. Another thing I'd like to address is I have met with the pallet home individuals. And as we know right now, there is no official action. There hasn't been any taken for these homes just yet. The information I have received from the public is fear because they have been misled, not only by the general public, but not by individuals who are actually educated in this field to be able to say, this is the actual outcome that we're going to have. What I've said from day one is that every single thing I have done in my department is to make sure that I research everything before I do something, because I don't want to make a big mistake and have funds pulled, because as we know, grants, when you work with grants, you have to follow them strictly. So that's something that I work with. When I spoke with the pallet home individuals today, we've set up a time. We don't have a place yet, but I'd like to provide that to the public if I'm able to do so. We have a meeting on October the 30th at 6:00 p.m. to speak to the individuals who are building these pallet homes, and I'd like for the public to attend. I currently don't have a place set in mind yet, but I will, and as soon as that place and time is set, we will provide that, and it'll get posted as the clerk's post, or however that works in that perspective. As far as the transitional home project that we have, we are very, very close at this point to getting that transitional home. The only thing that's lacking at this moment is a review for insurance and furniture. The furniture that's in this home, there's a few pieces of, couches, end tables. I'm very, very fortunate that a majority of the employees that I work with at City Hall, who are not even tied to social services, have worked together to obtain these items. A refrigerator has been found, microwave has been found, vouchers will be provided so those individuals can take a shower, wash their clothes, do the things that they need to do. These individuals that have been placed for this waiting list already have a place to go afterwards. They are actually on the current waiting list at this moment. So it's interesting to me, and I find it absolutely amazing that I'm able to apply for these individuals to get into Section 8 or low-income housing based off of their age, where they live, however that works. That's why I say the collaboration between counties and regions is important, because a lot of people don't want to stay here. They want to go to Albuquerque or Santa Fe or Rio Rancho. So I open my perspective to that. Another thing that I have here is the partnerships and collaborations that we have done with several insurance companies. Right now, I am very closely working with Blue Cross Blue Shield. There have been a majority of individuals from the community who are benefiting from this, because as a Blue Cross Blue Shield member, they're able to have an extensive MCO program, which allows them to sign up for community benefits, right? And community benefits is like a wish list for individuals who need items. Those wish lists have been completed. Those individuals have received those items, which is absolutely amazing. Today in the community alone, I've provided groceries to not only the seniors, but the unhoused. I am working very closely with Bienvenidos Outreach and very closely, hopefully, with the Food Depot as they work together. I have also decided to volunteer my time to the local shelters, including Santa Fe, and the food drives that we have. What I'm going to do prospectively is work together with Bienvenidos on a weekend, get all kinds of food and sack lunches ready, so that way I can come out on a Saturday and Sunday and make sure that the individuals I'm working with through the week are able to eat and get by through the weekend, as I am only one person. So I've been able to build that rapport with those individuals. The second thing is I'm also working very closely with Molina Healthcare, and they've recently invited me to get to understand the needs of our tribes, nations, and pueblos. Now, this perspective is very important because I am now working very closely with Santa Clara and Okeowinge. The Director of Behavioral Health Services and Director of Social Services, we as directors have decided, and also Los Alamos, Jessica's absolutely amazing. We have reached out and have decided, as directors, we need to give back to our community and to understand what the lack of resources are and how can we cover from entity to entity. So we're going to choose one day a month to go to each and every community of our own and find out what can we do with the resources I have and provide it to them, and so on and so forth. Ultimately, as far as the animal situation, I do understand that. At this moment, animals are very, very important. But at this moment, I've been able to decide, important things first, right? Animals are very important because they're also companions of these individuals, right? These individuals have co-occurring disorders, and sometimes animals help them with that situation. With the Pecos Valley Counseling that I'm working with, they're now able to accept individuals that are unhoused, that have animals. So once we get them into those homes, we're also looking into that and figuring out, okay, now we're taking care of the person, now we need to figure out what's going on with their animals. So that's another thing I'm tackling at the same time. Ultimately, I'm also working with the Department of Health. The Department of Health will come down here and provide training and resources to the collaborators that I'm working with. I work very, very well with CPSW, CCSS individuals. That training to me is very important because I'd like to make sure that we follow all of the state requirements, as I am very, very familiar with that. So my mind is always thinking, if I get audited, this is important to have in mind. So that's why I stress so much the importance of HMIS, abuse, neglect, and exploitation, adult protective services, ombudsman, because I like to make sure that if I come across an individual, as I work closely with law enforcement and first responders, and they come to me and they say, hey, there's someone I'm dealing with, can you help me? Or even code enforcement. I'm able to, with my experience, determine what's going on with this individual. I can make the appropriate report at that time and get things together. So now that my budget has been approved, and I know that there was a concern with that as well. And so if individuals have more questions about that budget, they can also find more information with the New Mexico Department of Justice that I'm working with very closely at this moment, so that they can also see, how do all of these things in this budget reflect directly with the list? Now, I included Exhibit E and I highlighted the portions that I'm working with. The reason I did that is because those portions I've taken care of long before the opioid settlement came here, and it was a question in mind already. So as I reviewed all of these exhibits, I was able to understand, these are the things I'm working on. The unhighlighted and portions of this are my next issue that I'm going to tackle. Whenever I do hire employees, I will make sure, as I do have the experience in the years in this field, that they will be trained properly, that they will understand not only how to identify individuals, what representative payees are, and most importantly, how to collaborate in the community. Now, I understand the importance of the seniors. That's very important. It's very near and dear to my heart, as I have worked skilled facilities, nursing, and I've been in that field for a long time. And so I'm able to determine when an individual that I come across and they say, I was at the hospital, I left, something happened. That to me tells me, what kind of safe discharge did you have and where did you fall between the cracks, so I can pick that up. I've been able to identify that, and now we have individuals who are housed. Ultimately, another important thing I'd like to say, I work very, very closely with Presbyterian Hospital. I work with the care coordination team, and I understand that upon discharge, I'm able to work with not only the physician, physical therapist, occupational therapist, in order to establish a safe discharge plan. We did that several times this week, and I'm very close with the physicians because they say, we need your help, what can we do? Once I'm able to review those pieces of information with that potential client and my collaborator, I can say, this is a safe discharge. I think it would be great, or begrudge you to talk to your medical director and see if they're able to clear them, and then they go on from there. My job is to make sure that there is accountability, not only from the collaborators, but from the city as well. So when I work with these individuals, I can say, yes, this is what I can provide for you, but I need to make sure that what you're providing to the community is quality. We can all focus on quantity because we can all start little fires and leave them. My job that I have done when I have come in here is not only put out the little fires from other outside entities, but to also create a collaboration regionally. So I stand for questions if anyone has any.
I want to mention a couple more things, Director. Michelle and I work closely daily, lots of times a day sometimes. One of the reasons that I wanted her to explain her background was because there's a lot of talk on social media about her and her not having credentials, and why is she only a one-person department? Well, the city was lucky enough to be able to afford to pay Michelle. And at the pay that she's making with her credentials, we're happy to have her, and we should be grateful, and we are. Because somebody with her credentials should be paid a whole lot more than she's being paid today. And hopefully someday the city can afford to do that. And I want to say also that Michelle is boots on the ground every day. Sometimes I call her because she's asking for help with something, research something, and guess where I find her? Out on the field somewhere, talking to a homeless person, out with code enforcement, that's where she's at. She's got an office where she's not there. Because she knows where she needs to be, right? Boots on the ground is how we will accomplish things. Because I can tell you, if you don't get to know every single individual individually, you will not be able to assist them. You've got to, number one, earn their trust, and secondly, figure out exactly what the need is for each individual person. And the other thing that has happened in our community that is such a plus for us is Michelle's working with a faith-based community. And when that meeting happened, I was privileged enough to be there, and it was amazing. It was beautiful to see Christian churches there, Catholic churches there, representatives from every church, except for I think one or two that couldn't make it in this community. And I think what happens sometimes when there are things happening in the community that are what we call critical, like the unhoused population, it brings people together. And that's what needs to happen. It's brought this council together, it's brought this task force together, and these counselors have credentials. I mean, I talked at the first meeting about Councilor Rodriguez's credentials, Councilor Torres. We look to Councilor Valdez for all his experience. He laughs at us, but we do. We ask him what happened in the city 30 years ago, and he knows. So you know, I really want to encourage everybody to continue to come to these meetings, because what you hear on social media is sometimes not at all what is happening at all. And so we just want to tell you one more time that we have not purchased a piece of property. The city has looked at many pieces of property, but I mean, it's difficult because anywhere that you think to put something, it's just services aren't closed, there's always something, right? So, you know, it's a tough task, but I do want to commend Michelle because she started in June, and the partnerships that have been created and the number of entities that have reached out to me, to her, forwarded to her, that want to work together to assist the city of Espanola has been incredible, incredible. We hope that moving forward, we'll continue to make the proper partnerships, and hopefully we can attack this problem. So please continue to come to our meetings, reach out to any of us on the task force, myself, Michelle. We are here to discuss any questions, concerns that any of you have. So please do that. Okay.
Hey, Michelle, since you've been here, giving me reports and doing what you're doing, I'm glad we have you.
Thank you, sir.
We appreciate what you do, and we look forward to helping you out.
Thank you.
Constantly create and help you with. Okay.
Thank you very much.
So I share the same sentiments. Thank you, Michelle, for the work that you have done in this short time, all the collaborations and partnerships that you've created around the state. And I just want to say to the community, to my fellow counselors, to all of those who are concerned about Michelle and her work ethic and whether she's qualified for this, I think we need to come together as a community and hold up our gente. That's what we're here for. And so we need to be behind her because she's got a hard job ahead of her. And she's qualified for this position. You heard all of her credentials, all of her schooling, and a whole list of work that she has done so far. So thank you for the placement of the senior that you placed today. I'm sure that he is comfortable and safe and warm, and it really touches my heart. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair, councilors. Michelle, you're a blessing to the city, and you know, coming from Councilor Rodriguez, Madam Chair, yourself, people, especially people in Llano, you gotta consider the source of the social media and where it's derived from. It's all a bunch of BS, basically. You know, if you have your concerns, if you have your needs, one of your councilors right here, another one of your councilors sits on this committee. And it's says, if you could come directly, I have an open door policy. You can come and sit down with me and I will discuss it with you. Now, what is discussed in executive session, I cannot discuss it legally. Can't do that now. Some members of this council thought otherwise and did that. And that's a big no-no. But you can rest assured, like I told you, talked to you, Mrs. Roybal, and all your family that's here. We're not going anywhere near that area of town, or we didn't even discuss that. Not even close to Santa Cruz. Where this came from, I have no idea, but it's a lie. It's all it is, basically a lie. That's it. Michelle is doing a great job. She also holds it. There's been members of this council that have made her job very hostile to the community because of their dealings on social media. And again, bunch of lies. They do not get the accurate information. If you want it, like the chairwoman said, this is where you are. Come to City Hall. Sit down with us. We'll discuss it with you. It's open. The chief of police sitting right there in a committee meeting. He's got an open door policy as well. The deputy chief of fire right there, open policy. He'll explain to you because they are involved just like the police are in dealing with the unhoused community. And they assist this lady. So she does have a big support program. But when the public comes out like that, and the members of this council put on their own personal social media, it does not help. What does help is the community coming together, working together to solve these issues. That's what helps. Being here tonight, airing out your concerns, that's what works. That's what works. Social media is just that. Nothing more. Bunch of BS, that's it. If you believe that, I don't know what to tell you. Come and get the truth like you are doing tonight. That's the best place to get the truth.
I do want to mention one more thing that I forgot to mention that Michelle and I are working on. We're working, and I did wait because we're struggling to get the next meeting together, but we are working on bringing 211 to Espanola. So hopefully that'll happen soon. 211 will assist every single individual out there in Espanola with services that they need or require. And we're working to put together those service providers that will be part of 211. And then 211 Espanola hopefully will then connect somehow with 211 Santa Fe and eventually 211 New Mexico, right? And so we are also working together with United Way on that particular assistance because it's not just about the unhoused. There's a lot of need in our community, right? And so we need a source for individuals in our community, especially our seniors, to be able to go to. And if we could, have something like that, 211, and you could get some answers and some resources, we feel like that would be really beneficial. So I forgot to mention that. I want to mention that as well.
I'd like to give my telephone information so that you can receive accurate information. And I have cards as well. My number is 505-901-1684. Not only do I help the unhoused, but individuals who are almost unhoused. That is a topic that has come up quite a bit. And some of these individuals are very, very close to losing their homes. And through the great collaborations, they've been able to save those homes. They have their lights turned back on, their water, their utilities in general. So that's something that all of the collaborations that I've worked with, and I am honored to work with them.
I want to just throw this out there. We are working with a family right now. It's a single father with 4 children, and they are in need of 2 windows and someone to help them install the windows. If anybody out there knows of someone or can assist with that resource, we are looking for that currently today. Winter's coming, and they have no windows on that house. We've been able to assist them with many items, but we've got 2 more windows to go. So just want to throw that out there. If anybody has a resource for us. All right, any more questions? Councilors, everybody's good? All righty, well, we are on to the next meeting. The next meeting will be November 21st here, 6 o'clock. Feel free to come join us. Voice your concerns again, questions, or updates. With that, I adjourn. Thank you, everybody.
I'll get with you. I'm gonna go talk to Eric real quick, bro. I do, bro. Eric, here on camera, you just lied to everybody. Just like the thing that you did in Chamita, when somebody was gonna donate land in Chamita, and we published it out on social media. You denied it. You guys denied it. What we put out on social media is the truth, bro. Why you gotta deny it? Why you guys saying social media is lying? Why are you guys saying that? You know it's true. Each and every one of you guys know it's true. That's why you don't trust government. That's why you don't trust government. Especially those people. You don't trust any of your government. Because all they do is lie. They lie to the people. You know it's true. Let's be real. Let's have an open dialogue. Remember back then, a couple of months ago. Hey.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, just let me know. Yeah. All right, guys. I'm out. Later, guys. You guys have a good one. Peace.